I used to waste entire days gaming, scrolling, and doing nothing, wondering why I can't be confident like other men. But there were actually five traps that were keeping me weak and shy, and chances are you are doing them too. And in this video, I will show you what those five traps are so you can avoid them. The first one is fear of rejection. When I was 16 years old, I was addicted to video games, so I spent my whole day inside of my room on the computer. I didn't even have online friends to begin with, but I was lucky. I found two people to play with, and they even happened to be female, which at that time was crazy to me. Okay, like I was extremely shy. That was one of the craziest things that could happen to me, in my imagination at least. And therefore, I spent my whole time with those two people. The problem, however, was that I didn't really talk at all, like ever. I was just playing, and when they were laughing, I was ashamed to laugh, to use my microphone. That is how shy I was. This whole thing went on for maybe a week or two. I was thinking that awesome, maybe I'm gonna get, sounds embarrassing, but maybe a girlfriend. But then reality kicked in. They decided to talk to me and tell me that it's kind of boring that I never say anything, never laugh, or anything of that kind. So they decided they will move on without me. And I was heartbroken, you know. Those were the two first friends I had online. What I learned from that experience is that rejection will get to you no matter how hard you try to avoid it. That is the reality of things. So being scared of it is actually nonsensical. Hiding in your room, trying to avoid all kinds of things like rejection makes no sense. It will hit you anyways. I was inside of my room, in front of my computer, and I still made it. I still got rejected. So, why even run from it? What's the point? If it's gonna hit you anyways, why not face it straight up? Why not embrace and be okay with the fact that you will be rejected? The second one is that we are way too pleasure focused these days. I know it's extremely easy to just binge YouTube or Netflix, play video games all day. I've been guilty of this throughout my whole life. For over 10 years, I've done nothing but play video games. So I completely understand. Matter of fact is, however, that this is overstimulating our brain. This is keeping us lonely. Who the hell are you going to get to know in front of your computer? I've had friendships online, sure, and I still keep up some of them. But the truth is, you need friendships in real life. The impact of having a conversation in reality is completely different than having a conversation online. Going outside of your damn room. I've lived there for years. It's boring. Do yourself a favor. Go out. Stop seeking pleasure so much. It's scientific fact that exposing yourself to pleasure actually induces pain. Our body wants to go into homeostasis, which basically means it's going to balance out pain and pleasure. Meaning that if you induce yourself pleasure in the first place, it's going to balance out with pain. This is why you want to binge more, just one more game, one more video. This is that feeling. It's trying to get rid of that pain. But the opposite is also true. Going into a cold shower is one of the best things you can do. Cold showers, sure, they feel painful for 1 minute. The dopamine that you get afterwards lasts for hours upon hours, so the return on investment is so much greater. 1 hour of gaming is gonna give you many hours of pain. So why not go into the cold shower, ice plunge for 1 minute and feel great for hours afterwards? Pain is your friend. You just need to get to know it better. By the way, I normally wouldn't do this for free, but I want to help a handful of men break out of this cycle. So I've opened up 5 coaching spots only for this year where I will help them for free. Top link in the description below. The third one is that we have zero ambitions. My only ambition when I was 17 years old was to grind my character or reach the highest rank in that video game. You just need to get started somewhere. You don't need crazy ambitions that you want to become a billionaire or anything like that. The first ambition that I had when I turned 20 is that I wanted to become simply a fit, strong, healthy guy. So I tried to think about what that identity even means. What would that fit, healthy, strong person do? He would go to the gym. He would eat good food and all the other things that came to mind whenever I thought about it. That started as something small. That ambition, that idea or identity gave me the whole purpose and drive to improve and change. You don't need anything else. It's to have that first idea, that first draft of your identity. That is going to get the ball rolling. You don't need to have a crazy idea or clear picture. I started small and it kept on growing. The important part is that you pick an identity that has no end to it, basically. Being a healthy, fit, strong guy, you just keep working on it. And once you've reached it, you try to keep it on because once you stop, you will go away from it. So think of an identity that is similar to that one and see where it takes you. The fourth one is that most of us have neglected trauma. I grew up with childhood trauma, emotional neglect, and many other things due to being addicted to video games, being lonely. All of these things, they live inside of you. They harm you, put damage into your body, your mind, without you even realizing or understanding why. At least not until you start to work on yourself. Therefore, if you actually put in the effort, maybe journal, meditate, go out and give that thought onto what happened and why it bothers you, you will slowly start to heal. Healing is a long term progress, and the healing process is something that is happening to me even now. I've been working on myself for over 10 years, but I firmly believe that it's not going to end. I'm going to try to heal as much as I can, take that pain, trauma, and turn it into something greater. If you let that trauma live inside of you without working through it, it's going to damage you. But I've taken it and tried to turn it into something great. I've gone into self improvement. I've improved myself, become confident, and I still take that painful trauma and turn it into fuel. You can do the same. You just need to start and work on that trauma. Number five is acting on your feelings. Look, if you are doing all the things I just told you about, you're gonna feel terrible. When I did these things, I was feeling trash, to put it bluntly. I felt tired, lonely, and just terrible in the first place. Had no energy. Therefore, I never really felt like doing anything. Going out, talking to people, making friends, or whatever it is, felt too effortful. I'm pretty sure that you know how that feels. Maybe you are feeling that even right now. So, what meaning does your feeling even have? In my opinion, when you're in that state, and most of the time, in these situations especially, they're useless. They're trash. If your feelings judge how your day is going to go and judge your actions, then it's always going to go wrong. Because these days, due to overstimulation, we always do not feel like doing anything. We always feel overstimulated. We always don't want to do anything. What I learned from this isn't that actions should follow your feelings, but instead, your feelings should follow your actions, and they do. So go out, do whatever you should do, and you know what you should do. You will always feel greater the moment you start. But knowing these is only the first step towards building that confidence that you want in your life. They were actually some major lessons that I had to learn throughout my 10-year journey so far to become more confident. So you should definitely check those out in this video.